And don't forget, if you want to be a fried chicken owner, join the Liverpool Academy.
442 Dudes.
Welcome back to another episode of 442 Dudes. I am Ben.
I'm John.
And together with the dudes behind 442. And of course, if you have already smacked that like button and subscribe button, thank you very much. So coming up next will be a segment of what we call 90 minutes of. So we'll see you lah. Yeah, 90 minutes. And this segment is what we call 90 minutes of. And in 90 minutes of, we do match reviews, analysis, and all things of what we thought about the games that went on. And so, speaking of games, we have some kind of a mine on them, and we do mine some of their matters. No, I was trying to link them. But in any case, mine game goes wrong. Dun, dun, dun. So recently, and this one John has to be very happy of, West Ham went up against Liverpool.
Well done.
Yeah.
Pronounced it correctly.
Yeah. No, actually, but never mind. Anyway. What happened?
Yeah, so what's up with West Ham and Liverpool?
I don't know. Are you happy with the result?
Oh, fantastic. That was like what? I think that game was the third in a row. They won 3-1 after giving the opponents a hit start.
Here we go.
Giving them a handicap before finishing the game with Jota scoring the last goal.
Yeah.
So with regards to mind games gone wrong, I think mind games is something that I think was perfected, or rather
in the game.
In the game it was started by Sir Alex Ferguson. At least when I was growing up. He was the first person that I saw.
Mine was my mother, but
played the mic.
Anyway,
I'm talking about the world of football, bro. Yeah. So I think no one can beat Ferguson in mind games.
Right.
And I think this mind games should be left to the managers.
Okay.
Or at least the PR team, what we club, not the players themselves.
Okay.
Because I think many a times, I think this week kind of proven it, that as the moment the players speak, that's enough.
It's gonna go haywire.
Definitely go haywire.
Okay. And who's this player talking about?
And there were so many examples today. And one example is obviously the game you just mentioned, West Ham versus Liverpool. So Mikel Antonio, in his podcast with his good friend Callum Wilson, right?
Yep.
He mentioned that he thinks that West Ham is going to finish above Liverpool this season.
Okay.
And says, I'm backing myself against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And this is what happened to him. He missed the sitter. He was basically found in Matip's back pocket.
Okay.
Couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
For all the muscle that he has, he was out-muscled by Matip. For all the speed that he has, he was outran by Matip. And Matip is not the quickest player. So, well
done.
Of course. And oh my God, when he left the field.
Goodness. It was quite oh well. He tried.
Mikel.
He'll come back.
Why you call yourself such a girl's name? Anyway, I think there were other players, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there were, you had Romero for once. Romero said he will show Arsenal why he's the World Cup winner. But yeah.
Again, so players should never ever.
Yeah.
In my opinion, players should never ever,
so you're
try
saying,
to play those mind games.
Saying that should be humble, humility should come into play, and stop trying to come out and be some hero and end up just
exactly. Because here's my take.
Okay.
When players come out, make statements like this, especially in this world of social media and all these things. The focus will be on their statements.
Yeah, it's going to be a big lineup.
Whether it's meant to be a distraction, or whether it's meant to play mind games, or whether it's meant to galvanize your teammates, I think it's the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Because I think the players who are making those statements are actually focusing on those statements themselves.
Yep.
And then they lose focus on the game.
Yep.
And because of that,
they will lose the club, points.
They just turn up a shit performance.
And so in this case, right after we talked about Mikel, and now Cristiano Romero.
Exactly. So Cristiano Romero said, I'm going to show them I'm a World Cup winner. And I didn't know World Cup winners, handballs in the penalty area, lifting up a stray leg just to deflect a goal into your ball into your own goal. I mean, for all the talk you had, right? And then you could see in his face, you saw it in his face the moment the ball went to the net. He was,
it's a WTF moment. WTF indeed.
Exactly, Cristiano Romero.
too.
I mean, just shut up.
Yeah.
Let the ball do the talking. Let the feet do the
Yep.
walking, running,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Let the result show.
Exactly. You know, don't just basically shut up. Leave the mind games to the managers to play. To let your managers handle the press.
Yeah.
Let your managers handle the backlash.
Okay.
You focus on the game. That's your job. Your
Yeah.
job is not to play mind games.
Yeah. It's again as what you said, to the manager.
Exactly. And speaking of
Yeah. Speaking of
players,
players.
I think ex-players
Yeah.
also
Oh,
come
ex-players
into
also
the play.
lah. Okay.
Right? I mean, we all know
Right.
that pundits, they have their own allegiance, right? They
do,
have
they
their own
do.
bias
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
the clubs they represent. They may be representing a lot of different clubs, but the clubs they probably made them who they are, or they were famous at these
Yeah.
clubs. They will definitely have a certain biases.
Okay.
Right? So
And who's this person?
the
you're
person
talking
actually I want to mention is actually Paul Merson. For those of you, do you know who's Paul Merson, by the way?
No. I mean, I knew him after Pundit and all that, but
Oh, so you have never seen
no,
him play?
No, never.
You have never watched?
No, never. Yeah.
Oh.
Never. Really, I never.
I'm just curious. So when did you start watching?
I started watching
Yeah,
football.
football. Yeah,
2002 World Cup.
Yeah. Merson's
2002
probably,
World Cup.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't remember him.
That
yeah.
explains.
That explains my age too, by the way. Anyway,
Well, but for those of you who do not know, and for you,
Yeah,
Paul
for-
Merson
yeah.
was actually one of the best attacking midfielders in England.
okay.
He was most famous when he played for Arsenal.
Okay.
He did pretty well at Aston Villa. That was after his prime. So he, if I'm not wrong, he ended his career at Aston Villa.
Oh.
But he still performed very, very well for Villa. So Paul Merson, now he's now a pundit, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Super Sunday and all kind of stuff. So he has obviously a biasness towards Arsenal because of his records with Arsenal,
Yeah.
his brilliant performances for Arsenal. So and he came out with this statement to
Okay.
say that
And
he's
what was his statement?
expecting Arsenal to slaughter Spurs.
Right.
After the start that Spurs had to the season, he still mentioned that Arsenal is going to slaughter Spurs. I mean, it could be because, he just want to appease the Arsenal fan base and whatnot, but to use the word slaughter,
It's too much of a statement. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I just feel it's laughable.
Oh, dear.
I think it's laughable. And true enough, I do have some important stats away. So I went to take a look.
Oh, okay.
We all knew that the game ended 2-2, right?
Yeah.
And I got the correct position, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these are the key stats in
Okay, let's
the
go.
game. So possession wise,
Okay.
Arsenal had 46%.
Oh, that's not
Spurs had 54%.
okay.
In terms of passes completed, or at least passes, Arsenal had 377. Spurs had 449.
Okay.
And in terms of shots on target ratio, that's pretty much similar. So Arsenal had 13 shots, 6 on target. Spurs had 13 shots, 5 on target. If this is what it means to slaughter,
Then
wow.
Wow.
We need to change the definition in the dictionary. So again, I think
yeah.
leave the mind games
To the manager.
managers.
Okay.
Leave
You heard
the
that right,
mind
people.
games to the fans.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We will be the ones to call the shots
Yep.
in terms of criticizing other clubs, in terms of slamming other clubs,
Yep.
in terms of
The banter and all.
yeah, the banter. Leave it to us. Leave it to us.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Leave it to us, the fans. You players, focus on your game. That's your job.
Heard that, players? Okay.
You are being paid so much money. Focus on your damn bloody job.
Heard that? So focus on your jobs. Quote 2K23 by John Mann. In all honesty, that was amazing. So yes.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah. Okay, so if you agree with John and what he said, we went all about should pundits, should players also somewhat be contributing to mind games? He says no, just do your job. You're being paid a salary, do your damn job. For the rest of us, we'll do the mind games.
That's right, and I think so. Let's move away from the players, all the mind games and all. I think there's one game that we need to talk about for this, at least for the games that went on this weekend, and it was the game between Sheffield United versus Newcastle. What was the score again, Ben?
Well, I remember it was a 0, and the other one looked like a 0 combined together. 8.
Amazing. And the most interesting thing about this game was there were 8 different goal scorers.
I didn't know that, until you told me.
For the very first time, I think, you can see on the screen right now, the Premier League, the official Premier League Facebook page also posted this. For the very first time in Premier League history, there were 8 different goal scorers for a single club. Wow! I don't know. I'm not sure whether you guys watched the game, but I watched the game and I just felt that Sheffield United basically
missing.
Yeah, I have no idea what was wrong with them.
This felt as if, we were playing, I don't want to mention a game name, we were playing like a football game and we were playing on easy mode.
Exactly.
The opponent.
Oh my God, that's exactly what went through my mind. It was basically a practice game, a training match for Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I know the Newcastle players look as if they were in second gear or even first gear the whole time.
I don't know about you, but when I saw the highlights, I didn't think Newcastle was that great. I mean, they were good, but I didn't think they were amazing, 10.10, maybe 8.10. But Sheffield United just made them look really good, like 10.10. That was just me. Yeah, Sheffield United just bumped Newcastle.
And here's why I think it could be the reason.
Okay.
So I think Sheffield United started well, being how a normal game should go. They were pressing properly, they were running and all. But I think after the second goal, so let's talk about the first goal first.
Okay.
The first goal was, I think, in my opinion, should have been chalked off because of a handball by Anthony Gordon.
Okay.
So Anthony Gordon, by the way, Gordon, I think he was the one that changed the whole game.
Right.
I think it's a blessing in disguise that Harvey Barnes got injured and Gordon came on to replace him, and then that changed the whole game for Newcastle because Anthony Gordon is full of running. He's full of.
He's an eye for the game.
What is the eye for the game?
I don't know. That means he just knows when to do every move that he does. Not every player can do that. Just saying. As a Chelsea fan, I can tell you that. Okay. Anyway.
Gordon changed the game. He was running at full speed against the Sheffield United players, and I think they couldn't handle him.
Yeah.
Before he made the pass to who was that, Longstaff, right?
Yeah.
The ball clearly hit his hand. And he changed the direction. He actually basically helped him to cushion the ball and stop the ball, and then put it in a very nice position for him to pass it to Longstaff. And Longstaff himself was kind of a little bit
taken aback.
No, he wasn't taken aback. He was, after he scored, he was like just looking around and
just to check.
Is it a goal? Is it a goal? Is it disallowed? Is it allowed? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it should have been disallowed.
But it was allowed.
Exactly, it was allowed, and you could see the eye. You could see in the eyes of the Sheffield United players.
Yeah.
They were just.
They
felt so defeated.
Yeah.
And shortly after, they conceded the second goal from a corner. Now, for most football teams, when you concede from a set piece, that's actually not a good thing.
Right.
Because you work so much on the training pitch, in the last week, just to prevent all these things.
Man marking and all.
Whatever you want to call it. Basically, you're spending so much time on this tactical aspects in the set piece. It's always, so if you always listen to the commentators, you listen to the pundits, whenever teams concede set pieces, it's always I wouldn't say it's an embarrassing thing, but
you should have done better, sort of thing.
Something like that, because you would have anticipated certain things and all. You would be looking at the different scenarios and all.
Yeah.
So when they considered the game, when they considered the second goal against Newcastle, Dan Burn was the one that scored. Brilliant goal, by the way. They were so deflated, and they basically went into easy mode for Newcastle.
They did.
I mean, it's just, and then just went on to score 8 goals.
8 goals. We have 8 different goal scorers. We gotta emphasize that.
Yeah, I mean, what's up with players nowadays? There's no fight.
Yeah.
There's no fight. They are just. It's almost reflective of the current generation. Even if you don't mind me saying that. I mean, don't you agree?
Well, I mean, I at the end of the day, the fight has to be led by perhaps a captain. Now again, and I'll talk about this maybe in the future. Will the captain be very crucial in the team? Because you have to pick the right captain. Let's just go back to what was that against Spurs and Arsenal. Song Heung-min stepped up for sure as the captain. I think it was a brilliant choice as a captain. And I believe that a captain does play a role in the club. So beyond the manager, there is the captain. And in this case, Sheffield was missing one. That's just me. So
there's no leadership. That's what
no
you're
one
saying.
to just pull them up. Yeah.
Get them out of the rut, galvanize the troops.
Use that word today. Galvanize. All right. Another quote of the day from John. Galvanize.
In all honesty, I think that's
but
sorry, inside joke.
So again, to me, it's all about them putting in more effort because they needed a push. Not just from the manager, but as well as from the captain. Someone had to step up. And I felt that was the lack of it. So yeah.
Well, this is another fun fact. I mean, I think you're right, but just some fun facts. I mean, moving away from the players' mentality and all. This is Newcastle is the first team that has scored 8 different goals against both Sheffield teams.
Oh.
Yep. So they've just got 8 against Sheffield United, and back in many years ago,
It was also 8.
it was 8 goals. This time at St James Park, they scored 8 goals against Sheffield Wednesday. So I remember watching that game on TV.
Yeah.
Shearer got 5. I think Kieran Dyer was another one of the other goal scorers. I can't remember. Shearer scored, I think, 2 penalties as well, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they're the first team that has scored 8 goals against both teams from Sheffield. So, wow. Just some fun facts anyway.
Now you know. Now you know.
Yeah, so sorry, just coming back to the mentality portion, right? I think, you realize, if you look at the table right now, all 3 teams that were promoted, they are currently in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Do you think it is an issue of quality or weak mentality?
I think it's the issue of being overwhelmed. I think having been away for quite some time, they may not be used to it. But with that being said, we haven't hit Christmas. I'm just gonna say every time when we hit Christmas, it's then we only know what will happen to them. Because I just want to point, there is still Everton. Sorry, I just have to go back to that. There is still Everton. So yeah.
You're right.
Just saying.
Sorry, it's music because I'm a Liverpool fan, alright? Anyway, so that wraps up our segment of 90 minutes off, and we'll be moving on to the next one called What's What with
Who's Who. See you. Welcome down to this segment of what we call What's What with Who's Who. In What's What with Who's Who, we discuss the current interesting happenings in the world of football. Or if you're watching in Texas, you call it soccer. So in any case, we want to talk about a party. Not like a Katy Perry sort of way, but in a very disappointing kind of way. And what I'm talking about here, John, and to the rest of you, is the Ajax team. Now, can you imagine being so frustrated, being so disappointed with your team going down? Not 1 goal, not 2 goals, but 3 goals in the first half, and you got so frustrated, you decided to throw and what John calls a fireworks party. So the fans have decided, and I've learned this word today, to galvanize together to throw a fireworks party because they got so frustrated at their side going down just after 45 minutes. And because of that, John, we know the result. The result of it got suspended, the match. Now, what do you think about that?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know.
Ridiculous on who? The fans?
The fans.
Okay.
I mean, I think now fans I don't know, is it something that it's because of social media or whatnot, or because nowadays society deems that you need to challenge authority. We no longer keep people in a high regard,
check, respect the game.
Correct. We don't really respect the professionals. We don't really I think there's a lack of respect happening around the world, and I think it's kind of trickling into the football world, which I think it's quite ridiculous, and I hope it stops soon. But for the fans to do that, to show, yes, I kind of agree to a certain extent.
It's okay for them to express
that they want to express their frustrations and the lack of effort by the players.
Yeah.
But to cause the game to be suspended because of all these dangerous acts.
Yes. That could injure other people.
I mean, on the pitch they threw the fireworks, they threw the flares.
Yep.
Outside the ground they were rioting and all.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
The safety reason. I mean, the safety as well. The safety of the people.
Exactly. I mean, I just look back to other similar situations, right? Where, I mean, just last month, rather. No, not last month. This month. This September, right?
Yeah.
Just this month. The Lyon Ultras were berating the players in the... just after the game where they lost 4-1 to PSG.
Yep.
They lost 4-1 to PSG.
Yep.
And the Ultras basically, all the players were standing on the pitch. They were staring at the fans. And then the Ultras were there berating someone. She took the mic just to berate the players. I think if you want to do it, I think that, in my opinion, That's a better way.
Yeah.
I mean, you are showing the players that, hey, this club means a lot to us, right? We are paying so much money to the extent of exorbitant fees at times to watch here, to support you. At least make some effort, put in some effort, run your socks off, and play properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And these players are being paid much more than most of
Exactly,
the fans.
exactly.
As well. Yeah, and I think rightfully so. I do agree with you. If a fan doesn't agree, or rather, if a group of fans doesn't agree, I think that's the better way to do it. AC Milan had the same thing as well.
Correct.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
they
back
did
in
the same
May.
thing.
Back in May this year.
Yeah,
Yes.
they did the same thing too. So I think this is what we prefer. I mean, even as a fan, when we get too frustrated, this is how it should be done. You don't stop the match. You don't be so dangerous where you might potentially injure a player of yours.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's that risk injuring a player, or in fact just anybody that might not even be part of it, a security personnel. So yeah, I don't really support their whole fireworks party.
So to a certain extent, I just want to ask you one question, Ben. So
Yeah.
you think, I mean, this question is for you guys as well. I mean, you guys can feel free to comment, feel free to let us know whether it's through DMs or whatnot.
Yep.
But the question I want to ask
Let's
is,
go.
are fans
Yeah.
gaining too much influence?
Yeah.
Or are they justified in their actions, be it online or what you saw, the ultras stop berating the players.
Yeah.
So what's your take on this?
I think fans have always had an influence. I mean, since ancient times, I don't know how long football was lah. But fans always had an influence. I think that's why they've been always called the 12 men, because they have always had that influence on the club. But I think as time progressed, you had technology coming in, and then suddenly social media kicked in with Twitter and others coming in as well. Then you could start now becoming more vocal off the pitch too. So instead of just shouting at the players during the match, now you get a comment of players off the scene as well, and that kind of might have spurred the player, might have kind of demoralized the person as well. And yeah, I feel it's not just about having more influence. I think they just have more accessibility in voicing out their opinions, and for better or worse, they still have that influence. So if you ask me today, it really is unfortunate that they are supposed to be that 12 men, but they do abuse that authority. They would say mean things and that sort of thing. They would pull out things that also boils down. For example, that also boils down to players just maybe they want to have a good time, and maybe they did put in the effort. But if I don't post a picture of me training and I just post a picture of me celebrating, people think I never put in effort in training. Yeah, so then fans would just say, "Hey, you're not training, you're only posting birthday pictures." I'm just saying that's the reality. You have to post yourself training, and if you post yourself training, then
He didn't get it.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just supporting the fact that fans are a bit too noisy. Yeah, or colloquially we call it kepo. Anyway. Don't call Val, are you okay? Oh yeah, because speaking of which, I tell you, we were just looking all over the news and John was sharing this, and turns out a former Liverpool youngster, promising youngster, has now opened a chicken rice shop. Fried chicken. But I just wanted to say, so from ayam, which is what we call here Malay for chicken, he is now selling fried ayam. Indeed promising. I think that's a good.
If you're gonna go Malay all the way, just say ayam goreng.
Ayam goreng, but this one ayam penyet style. But anyway, I mean, what do you think about this, John? Now, aside from the little quick mockery there, I mean, well done on the fried ayam shop.
You can mock him all you want.
Yeah, but he's a successful person. Yeah, I mean,
I think he's showing a lot of very good mentality. If you ask me, so maybe you're talking a lot about my mentality, whatnot.
Yeah.
In the football world, it's very cutthroat.
Yeah, it is.
It is a brutal world out there in the football world. Thousands of players actually fail to make the grade. There are many players in the academies, but only a small handful actually make it into the first team and obviously onto the international football. Right? Thousands and thousands of players fail to make the grade every single year. Whether is it because they're not good enough, or whether because of injury or any other factors.
Or unfortunately, maybe they have an A-star student in the class.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you don't always get a Steven Gerrard, right?
Okay.
Okay, or a class of 92, right? You want me to put it out there?
Yeah.
It's very rare that happens, but for those players that actually fail to make the grade, in this case, Jerome Sinclair, right? He was to date, he is still Liverpool's youngest ever player, right? But his career basically dwindled down, and now at 27, he is the owner of a fried chicken shop.
All right.
No, love all you want, but I think this guy is clever.
He showed business.
He's clever in the sense that, okay, maybe this is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
This career is, not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
I need to find an alternative. What am I going to do? Am I going to stay home and sulk? Am I going to attend birthday parties in New York? No. I'm going to double down. I'm going to hustle. And now at 27, he's a fried chicken shop owner.
Yeah.
So to me, that is great. That is good
Absolutely.
mentality. And I think a lot of players currently in out there, existing players, should take a leaf out of Jerome Sinclair's book.
You should.
Not just this. I just want to mention another existing player.
Okay.
Victor Osimhen.
Oh.
I think recently you guys have seen on social media what happened. You mentioned about the world of
social media.
technology,
Yes,
social media.
yes.
Unfortunately, certain things happen and players react differently. So in the case of Victor Osimhen, what happened was Napoli, the club that he represents, right, posted a TikTok video that insinuated a mockery of Victor, and in some sense, leverage, tinging on racism a little bit. And Victor obviously was very, very disappointed. He was very angry,
furious,
and he's now threatening to sue the club.
Even the agent.
For posting the video.
I mean, the agent was also angry.
I mean, okay, so if we were to break it down from the club's perspective, what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
Why do you? He is your best player. He literally won you guys the Scudetto just the previous season.
And he is your player.
Exactly. He's still your player.
Exactly.
Not just that. He won. I want to emphasize that he won you guys your first Scudetto in the last 30 years.
Ah.
And why are you mocking him on social media? And from Victor's perspective, if I were him, I would be equally frustrated.
And he would,
Correct?
Yeah.
But I can see. Yeah, sorry, you want to say something?
No. But that's why I want to say, even though he had frustration, even though he felt the injustice,
yes,
but he still played for the club.
Exactly. Not just that.
He still played for the club.
He still scored. Exactly. He still scored. He still performed because that is his job. He focused. He focused on the game. He is not interested in playing kind of mind games. He's not interested in bantering the fans. This is what he's paid to do. He focuses on the job, and he did his job.
And I think for him, because he knows, and I mean, I don't know the situation there, but he knows it wasn't the club management, as in it wasn't his first coach, it wasn't the players that surround him that kind of supported that video, as in they didn't post it. It was like social media, maybe a stupid intern or something, I don't know, that did that. So shame on you, whoever put that.
Exactly. I mean, I think shouldn't they, I don't know, do some checks or whatnot before they do. I don't know. I just think it's to the point where it's getting ridiculous. It's really getting ridiculous. Allowed. Can you just let us enjoy the game, the once football, again, and let us enjoy what we call the beautiful game.
Exactly.
Away from all these distractions, away from all this. Okay, maybe my game should be included, but leave it to the managers, right? Not the fans. So I mean, if you look at what Osimhen did, I just want to touch on another example. Of how, despite the differences, they remain professional and they perform for the team.
Wow.
And then these two players I'm talking about, or rather ex-players, is Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham.
Oh.
So for those of you who are aware of it, or those who do not know, Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham does not like each other. They have never spoken to each other throughout their whole time at United.
Okay.
I know they recently reconciled, but that's like I don't know how many bloody years later.
Yeah.
But whenever they're on the same pitch, they give their all for United.
Yeah.
Winning them trophy after trophy after trophy.
Because it's for the club. It's for the crest that
exactly. It's because that is the club you're representing.
Yeah.
Players these days,
Yeah.
Nada. Really?
Yeah, nada.
They have no sense of professionalism, in my opinion. And I think that needs to be stamped out.
Stamp it out. So very importantly, of course, for those of you out there, if you're going to be a budding footballer, go to the Liverpool Academy, because you never know, you might just come out as a fried chicken shop owner. I'm just saying that's quite important.
At least you still be successful, right? Better than fighting somewhere in London, the blue half of London.
Exactly, successful. So let's galvanize together, people, and make fried chicken. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna franchise it over here. Fried chicken, I love it.
Maybe we should contact him now.
Exactly. Contact you. What's his name? Something Jerome Sinclair.
His name is called Jerome Sinclair.
Mr. Jerome Sinclair, if you're listening to this, we want to try that fried chicken of yours.
I need to put this in.
Yeah.
If you want your child, to be successful in football, and your surname happens to start with a letter S, never name him a name that starts with a letter J.
Letter S, letter J. Why?
I mean, Jerome Sinclair, he fell out. Jadon Sancho is
Oh,
obviously.
we're going. You never fell. You're going with
Anyway.
Oh.
So if you want to succeed in football
dear.
and your surname starts with S,
Name start with J.
don't name your child a name that starts with the letter J. Maybe an M would suffice, you know.
If you're watching this, you happen to be in that category. Anyway, yeah.
Or start with D, you know, the Daniel Sturridge, you know, you
okay.
succeeded.
Yeah.
Mo Salah, you know, kind of stuff.
Anyway, so that's the end of our 442, and we are the dudes behind 442. And don't forget, you know, if you want to be a fried chicken owner, join the Liverpool Academy. And with that, we're signing out. Don't forget to subscribe. CCBTV. Exactly. That's how you subscribe. You know, like what John did. Subscribe. And we'll see you for
Next
another
week.
episode. Next week.
Ciao.
Ciao.